Hi, this is Joe again with another movie review. And for the subject of this video, I will be discussing the 1994 film "It Could Happen to You," which of course stars Nicolas Cage, Richard Fonda, and Rosie Perez. And of course, this movie, it's true. I admit that this is not the greatest movie in the world, but it has kind of like a sentimental feeling for me, and explain why in the review. Um, This movie is also, of course, loosely based on a true story about a police officer who won $4 million in the New York State Lottery, who Nicolas Cage plays a New York City cop who goes into a restaurant one day and his waitress was Bridget Fonda, who, of course, for those who don't know, she's the niece of Jane Fonda, or Hanoi Jane, as a lot of people like to call her. Uh, She plays a waitress, and Nicolas Cage didn't have enough money to give her a tip. So he said, "Look, I happen to have a lottery ticket for tonight's lottery, and if I win, I split the winnings with you for a tip." And oh, come on, nobody wins those things. And meanwhile, he happened to win, and of course he ended up winning $4 million out of it because other people also won. So the money he got out of it was $4 million, and of course he gave $2 million of it to Bridget Fonda, and she went bonkers. Of course, what complicates things is that Nicolas Cage character, Charlie, is married to Yvonne, who is married to, not Yvonne, that's the Bridget Fonda character's name. Uh, he is married to Rosie Perez in the movie, and she's like this greedy, obnoxious little bitch. And, and she is just a greedy, obnoxious little bitch in this movie. And she's like the most hated character in this whole film. And it says, "Why? How the hell dare you share our money or my money to the stupid waitress?" And of course, she was getting not only was she getting more and more angry about it, but she was getting more and more jealous of Bridget Fonda because she's prettier than Rosie Perez is. She's prettier, she's skinnier, she of course has the Jane Fonda uh, hormones, not hormones, but has that look that Jane Fonda had back when she first started making movies. So of course, she's prettier than Rosie Perez is, and of course she's getting more and more jealous of her, and because Troy has been hanging out more with her, because they're both like real working class people. And of course, Bridget Fonda, when she gets the money from Charlie, when they made this offer, she was going through bankruptcy. She has to file bankruptcy. She's going through a divorce, and she doesn't have the money to actually file for a divorce. I mean, that's how broke she is. So when Charlie came along and made the store for it and gave her $2 million, of course, literally changed her life. But of course, Rosie Perez, she goes out to these fancy parties for other lotto winners and all that stuff. And of course, the highlight for the movie is that she goes out and she's buying all this crap. And what Rosie Perez's character does, and you know, jewelry, and furs. So of course she comes out of a store wearing this big fur coat, and guess what happens? These fur protesters show up and they throw red paint over her coat she just bought like 5 seconds earlier. So, so of course it was that when that thing happened. Of course the whole audience started roaring because Rosie Perez deserved it. Um, of course, like I said earlier, you can see this movie is very very predictable. Even though it is, like I said at the top, it is based on a true story, and you can see that Nicolas Cage was starting to fall in love with Bridget Fonda's character because Nicolas Cage's relationship with his wife, uh, when Rosie Perez was not going anywhere because she knew that when he knew that she was greedy, she had like this attitude, like her shit's better than everybody else, and all this stuff. And of course, Nicolas Cage didn't like that side of her, and so of course they eventually, of course, gets divorced. and Rosie Perez does sue, not only Nicolas Cage, but also sues Bridget Fonda for that half of the money. Because she felt she wanted all of it. She wanted all of it for herself, and she felt that Nicolas Cage should not have split the winnings with Bridget Fonda. And of course, spoiler alert, uh, she does Rosie Perez does win the case, and of course the president ruins it. But what happens is, of course, that story's been written about all over the papers because people love that story, and it was written in the New York Post. It went copies for the movie, of course. Uh, Telling these stories, and of course the restaurant that Richard Fonda worked at, she eventually bought with her half of the lotto winnings. People would donate money to them, so they felt so sorry for him. Because they found out about the court case, because the court case got a lot of publicity as well. And so a lot of people who read the story in the paper or who have been following the story on the TV news sent them money. Enough money so that Bridget Fonda's character get divorced. Enough money that she could buy back the restaurant. That Bridget Fonda worked now, she owns the restaurant free and clear. And of course, and Nicolas Cage's character went back to working for the fleet, working back to with the NYPD. Of course, Rosie Perez, of course, for having not only did she had the scene that I mentioned earlier with the film protesters throwing red paint on her after she bought a fur. She ended up shacking up with marrying a guy who she met. Her name I think it was Seymour Kessel. Um, she married his character after they met on one of the cruises just for New York State Lotto winners or past winners. And they get together like once a year or whatever it is. And they met on this cruise, on this dinner cruise, and they married. And meanwhile, the guy that Rosie Perez ended up marrying cleared all the money out of the bank account. So he stole her money that she won with the lottery, and of course she ends up living with her mother in the Bronx and working in a nail salon. I mean that's what happened with her, and she like deserved it. When that part of the movie was like at the very end of the film, naturally the whole audience, because I actually saw it when the film came out. Once again, I'll explain why. Um, but all thought it was funny because like it's like justifiable. Well, not homicide because nobody got killed. It was like justifiable irony there, because after all the crap that Rosie Perez did in this movie, uh, she actually deserved that. She actually deserved everything she got in this film. And of course, what does happen, of course, after the cop married the waitress at the end of the movie. And of course, you do see a lot of good stuff about New York City. You see Central Park, when they go rollerblading in Central, when Nicolas Cage and Bridget Fonda go rollerblading in Central Park with the water fountain and Bethesda Terrace, which a lot of tourists go to, by the way. You also see there was a scene where Nicolas Cage like rents out Yankee Stadium to play with some of the local kids who happen to live in his neighborhood. Of course, for the movie itself, I mean, I do like the movie. It's not the greatest movie in the world, to be honest with you guys, but it is, a fun, romantic comedy, and it is. I want to say symbolic, but it is a cliche movie. You know pretty much where the story is going to go, especially by the end of the film. You know exactly where it's going to go. You know Nicolas Cage is going to dump his wife and marry Bridget Fonda by the end of the film, and you know that Rosie Perez is going to get her comeuppance in this movie. So it's pretty much a formulaic film. And of course, this movie got pretty mediocre reviews, but it is entertaining enough because Bridget Fonda was very likable in this film. She's almost kind of like a Meg Ryan type, the way she portrayed this character. And Nicolas Cage, of course, once again, she plays this type of like a loser guy, and gets stuck in an impossible situation between two women or some crazy bullshit situation. and he ends up getting the short end of the stick for most of this movie, until of course the end where everything gets settled by the end of the film. Um, but the reason why I have such fond memories of this movie was because this movie was actually filmed in my neighborhood, in Woodside, Queens. Well, most of it, especially in the area where Nicolas Cage is supposed to live, is about in the 50s, in Roosevelt Avenue, like 54th, 55th Street in Woodside, Queens. And you see Roosevelt Avenue, you see, and that's the sub. If you haven't even seen this line, this movie, the subway line that's behind the apartments, so on that block, that's that's actually Roosevelt Avenue, in Woodside, Queens, where the subway line is, and that's actually the number. For those of you who've never been to New York City, that's actually the number 7 line in New York City. And I know that line because I've been in that line practically my whole life, so I know that area. I know where the movie was filmed. As a matter of fact, one of the opening scenes in this movie was actually filmed on 61st Street in Woodside, Queens. That's a scene where Nicolas Cage, while wearing a white polo shirt, is walking with a little kid up a hill. That's 61st Street in Queens. And if you walk down that hill, you end up hitting, well, actually, not only hit Roosevelt, that's a block between Woodside Avenue and Roosevelt Avenue. And if you walk down that hill, you end up hitting the 61st Street Woodside Station with the number 7 line and the Long Island Railroad, because the Long Island Railroad station right on top of each other. On the top is the 7 line, and on the bottom is the Long Island Railroad. And behind there, you see the Q50, behind Isaac Hayes, who plays the part of the narrator. Behind him, you see a red bus, a city bus. And it was a private line then. Now it's run by the city. And that's the Q53 bus that goes to Rockaway Beach. So I know, and as you see, Zorky Pharmacy, which is eventually moved to another location, a few blocks down Roosevelt Avenue. So when I see the movie, I have fondness because I see Woodside Queens in this movie, which you hardly see. The only other movie that I know that was filmed in my area was Inside Llewellyn Davis, which was directed by the Coen brothers, I think it was. It came out a couple of years ago. But I saw bits and pieces, and I saw one of the streets. Hey, that's Woodside in the movie. But anyway, and also the first episode of season 3 of Blue Bloods was also filmed in this area. So when you see those things, it's like, hey, I remember when we filmed this movie here. And of course, that scene where I saw I mentioned earlier, when Nicolas Cage walked up this hill, I actually saw them filming this scene, but from a different way. It was when Nicolas Cage was walking down the hill, not up the hill. But I saw him from that part of the movie. And when we took a break in shooting, I almost went up to Nicolas Cage to ask for his autograph, but I didn't want to bother him shooting the scene because actually, of course, I might get beat up or something. Not from Nicolas Cage, but from the security there. I might get beat up from them. But I did ask one of the people who were working on the film crew, what's the title of this movie? And they said, and the original title was Cop Gives Waitress $2 million Tip. But I thought it was too long. Naturally, of course, when they got down to ending the movie and about to release it, they changed the title to It Could Happen to You. Like I said earlier, it's a cute movie. It's a very cute, predictable film, but it's watchable because of the performances. And of course, if you like to see Rosie Perez get her comeuppance, you watch this movie because she was a royal bitch. And I wish I had the DVD of this movie. I don't know if the DVD. Thank you. Sorry, I have my windows open. You hear the traffic noise. I'm sorry, I'm waiting for the traffic to move. It's really an entertaining film because of the performance. And this is when Nicolas Cage was like a believable actor. But unfortunately, it's like a typical Nicolas Cage role. I mean, typical performance of his. And the only performance I actually liked other than this movie is midway was in Moonstruck. I mean, from Moonstruck to this film, it's like almost playing almost the same type of stereotypical character, movie after movie after movie. And now, of course, he does it. Played it after he won an Oscar for playing a drunk and leaving Las Vegas. He plays like real lousy roles, like a Ghost Rider or something. But anyway, I know I'm getting on a tangent here, but that's my this is my review of It Could Happen to You. Please click on the video, please rate it. Once again, you're not going to be able to make comments on my videos. Uh, I noticed maybe after a while, now people make comments again. Uh, I may change my mind on my next video to go back to now people make comments on my videos again because of these idiots who call me something I'm not. So please, I'm still allowing people to rate the video, so please rate the video. Please subscribe to my channel and please forward this video onto your Facebook pages. You can also check out not only all of my videos, not only on my YouTube channel, but also you can check out my videos on rowdyc.com. That's OWDY, the C.com. That's the homepage of the Rowdy Reviewer, Chris Lee Moore. Please check out his TV trash videos. He does a terrific job. Plus all of his other content. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.